Welcome to the race briefing for the 2018 Corsair Classic Triathlon and Duathlon, this year incorporating the Suzuki New Zealand Olympic Distance Championships. You'll see here the event schedule. Race pack pickup is on Friday the 26th between 4 and 6 p.m. and Saturday the 27th of January between 11 and 2 p.m. from Waltham Pool at 30 Waltham Road in Christchurch. Race day is Sunday the 28th of January. The transition will be open from 6:30 a.m. with a safety briefing at 7:45 a.m. excluding the kids' aquathon. It's mandatory to be on site for the safety briefing. At 8:30 a.m. the race will commence, first with the Olympic Triathlon and Duathlon. At 8:30 all men and all duathletes will start. At 8:32 all females and teams will start. This is followed at 9 o'clock by the short distance start, which is the triathletes and duathletes. At 9:05 we'll do a briefing for the kids aquathon and we'll commence their race at around about 9:20 a.m. Prize giving will be on site after the race. We anticipate at around about 12:30 p.m. after the last athlete has finished. If the weather is adverse and we can't hold it on site, we will advise of an alternate venue. Parking for this race is somewhat difficult. There is no on-site parking at the event, and please do not park on the course. Allow plenty of time to park and get to the event. You must park your car on the grass fields at the Charlotte Jane Quay, as you can see on this map. Either ride your bike around a transition, which is about 2.5 kilometres, or you can walk along the track. Most of you, when you arrive at the venue, will come through Littleton Tunnel, turn right at the roundabout, take your first left into Godley Quay, at Jane Quay, where you'll be directed onto a grass field. You can be dropped off at the upper car park at Corsair Bay if you arrive before 7:15, but not after. This is a drop-off only area. You cannot park. Simply there will be too much congestion. The sensible thing to do would be to carpool to the event with someone else, then one of you drops off the other with the bikes at the upper car park while the other goes and parks the car. Just to repeat, the upper car park will be closed from 7:15 a.m. for drop-offs. At that time you will have to ride your bike to the race venue. In the transition area, when you do arrive, all the bike racks will be individually numbered. This map really outlines the race site. You will notice that below the transition area is some public toilets. These are the permanent toilets on the pathway down to the beach. There will be additional toilets in the upper car park, along with the bag drop area, race headquarters, the coffee machines, and the medics. So transition area is all just bike racks. Everything else is more or less in the upper car park. This event is run with Triathlon New Zealand rules. These can be found on triathlon.kiwi, or also a link is on our website. A couple of the key rules is no outside assistance is allowed during the event, no portable music or listening devices of any kinds are allowed during the event. Triathlon New Zealand sanctioned events are bound by Drug-Free Sport New Zealand and their rules relating to prohibited substances. Swim rules, no fins or other flotation devices are allowed. On the bike leg, there is no drafting allowed. The draft zone is 10 metres by 3 metres from the front wheel of the leading rider to the front wheel of the following rider. Crossing the centre line is an automatic disqualification. There will be a penalty box at around about the 35 kilometre mark before you drop into Raupaki. You must serve your penalties here in this box. Obviously the distance for this will be different for the short course race. It will be clearly marked with some penalty box signs. The penalty for drafting is a 2-minute stand down for Olympic distance and a 1-minute stand down for the short course. The other key rule on the bike is you must keep to the left, which is essentially means you're not blocking the progress of other riders to pass you on the right. Key run rules are really you must not cut any corners on the run course onto the road unless you are directed to do so when crossing streets. The main thing is to be sensible out there, use your common sense. There will be some challenges with traffic, recreational riders and general public, so really just try to keep your cool, use your common sense and we'll all have a good day. This event doubles as a selection race for the New Zealand age group triathlon and duathlon teams. If you are wanting to be eligible for selection, please refer to the event manual or the Triathlon New Zealand website for details on your requirements. First up, we have the swim. For the Olympic distance athletes, you'll be doing one lap of 1500 metres. This is different to what was originally advertised. You'll be turning around the yellow buoys, keeping them on your right. The first buoy is around about 550 metres from the shore, where you swim out through the boats. The second buoy will be in line with some other orange buoys you may see out there. You'll then turn right and head for shore. The third and final yellow buoy is really to keep you separated from the short course race. As far as the swim start goes for all events, it will be a beach start in around about knee depth water. Please self-seed yourself on the start line, so if you're a faster swimmer, go to the front. If you're a weaker swimmer, go towards the back. The short course swim will be 2 laps. You'll start again at knee depth water. You'll go out to an orange buoy, turn right back towards another orange buoy closer to shore, then turn right, going around the pontoon, head back out to the orange buoy, back past the orange buoy closer to shore, and then swim into shore. The contingency plan for the swim: if any athletes have a change of heart with the swim, you can switch to the duathlon before the race commences. If the conditions are rough, the swim will go ahead, but the athletes will have the option of switching to a duathlon if they choose. If conditions are deemed to be too rough to use the proposed course, we will endeavour to have an alternate course that may be shorter. If the swim is deemed to be unsafe, and the event will be switched to a duathlon, with the swim being replaced with the respective run course for the Olympic and short course race. The swim will be marshalled with surf life saving representatives. There will be 2 IRBs along with plenty of board paddlers. If you get into danger at any stage during the swim, raise your arm and they will come to your rescue. If you hold on to a board paddler or the IRB, you are not disqualified unless they propel you forward or you take a trip with them, in which case you will need to be withdrawn from the race. The start for the duathletes for both the short and the Olympic distance race is on the grass behind the beach where the swimmers will be starting. You run along the path, as you can see directed by this arrow in the image. This path joins onto the main path for the rest of your run, and you go and do your respective first run loop. So the short course athletes, you have a shortened first run, and for Olympic distance athletes you do a 5 kilometre run. For the triathletes, exiting the swim and heading up to the bike is a fairly decent challenge. To follow this clip, you are running straight uphill up a path. When I say running, most athletes probably will be walking. As you come up through this point here, there are some showers that are currently not working, but they may be by race day. There is also some toilets off to your left if you so choose. Hopefully the transition image is relatively straightforward. You enter at the bottom right hand corner from either the swim or the run if you are doing the duathlon. You will then exit on the top right corner where you can see bike exit. We do strongly suggest, unless you're a very strong rider, to have your shoes on your feet, not on your bike pedals, in order to get up the hill and out of transition. After the bike, you will come down looking at the yellow line, dismounting your bike and running your bike to transition into transition, then exiting at the top left corner, skirting around the outside of the course. Here you can see the start of the bike ride. It is a sharp corner, then you're heading up a fairly steep climb. The bike course, we're going to now show you a quick demonstration of where the course goes. We do have a GoPro of the entire course that has been sent to all athletes. It is up on YouTube and it's a fast forward of the course, which takes around about 20 minutes. A couple of key points on the bike. The mount line, you do not get on your bike until you pass over the mount line. Make sure you are in your bottom gear to enable you to get up the hill. The course is very hilly. The Olympic course, the only turns you make are veering left when you get to Governor's Bay at around about 6.9 kilometres, and then on the return at Governor's Bay you need to turn right towards Littleton at about the 32 kilometre mark. There will be a bike turn for the short course athletes at Governor's Bay, which is around about 6.9 kilometres. Olympic distance athletes, make sure you do not turn at this point. For the short course athletes, there are no turn points on the course other than your turn at the 6.9 kilometre mark. When you re-enter Corsair Bay, you need to give way to traffic behind you or in front of you. Please go extremely slowly down the access road. This is a no passing zone. In the Olympic distance race, if you're one of the fastest males, please be aware that you may catch up to a few of the tail enders in the short course race. The bike dismount line, you come around the corner into the bottom car park and you dismount before you get to the line. Please be careful, it is pretty easy to go too fast down that hill. As mentioned earlier, this is a non-drafting race. Please refer to triathlon.kiwi for all the drafting rules, or we also have a link in our event manual. A quick summary, you need to keep left to allow others to pass. Failure to do so is called blocking and results in a penalty. The draft zone is 10 metres from the front wheel to the leading rider, of the leading rider to the following rider, and 3 metres wide. You have 20 seconds to pass an athlete once you enter their draft zone. If you receive a penalty on the bike, you must serve this by standing down at the 35 kilometre mark where the penalty box is located. Other key points, under no circumstances can you cross the centre line. This is an automatic disqualification. If you get stuck behind traffic, it is unfortunately bad luck and you just have to be patient. Keep left at all times. Bike helmets must be worn and done up at all times from when you remove your bike from the bike rack until your bike is re-racked. You must give way to traffic at all turn points and the turn into Corsair Bay. Please take extreme care when coming down the access road into transition. As mentioned, this is a hilly course. There are some fairly fast downhills and some reasonably sharp corners. Bottom line is, if you see a 35 or 45 km/h warning signs around a corner, you need to slow down, especially if there are any wet conditions. So use your common sense out there. If you can't see around a corner, take it easy. And finally, onto the run. Please ensure you wear your race number on the front. That's everybody, duathletes, triathletes, run number on your front. Duathletes, you also need to wear that race number on your front during your first run. You can see here a summary of the course. For the Olympic distance athletes, you are completing 2 laps. You can see it going around now for the second lap. For the short course athletes, you're doing 1 slightly shorter lap. Couple of key things with the run is when you're on the footpath, you need to keep right, especially on the section when you're running along Simeon and Norwich Quay, as athletes will be going both directions. When you go do the climb over Cressy Terrace, please stay on the footpath when there is a footpath. When there is no footpath, please keep to the left. So just to reiterate there, when you're on the footpath, especially Simeon and Norwich Quay, keep to the right as there will be athletes going in both directions. When you're going over Cressy Terrace, please keep on the footpath and then keep to the left. This image here shows the key intersection on the run. For Olympic distance athletes, you'll be following the yellow line, turning right down Volas Road. For short course athletes, you'll be going straight across Volas Road, then performing a U-turn that will then take you straight up Cressy Terrace. There will be an aid station on the run at the start of the run, and for those doing the Olympic distance, when you come through halfway at the bottom of the car park, so commencing your second lap, we will be supplying water and pure nutrition at this aid station. Pure nutrition will be in pure cups, the water will be in plain cups. Given the conditions, we have added a second aid station that will be midway through the run, fairly close to the Littleton roundabout tunnel. When you've completed your race, transition will remain closed until the last athlete has finished the cycle component of the event. The race headquarters, post-race drinks, bag drop, toilets and a free pastry will all be situated up in the top car park, as are the coffee carts, ice cream cart, etc. So please hang around in the upper car park and make sure you do not impede the progress of athletes that are still on the course. We will be doing prize giving as soon as possible after the last athlete has finished. We anticipate this to be around about 12:30. Finally, the kids/youth aquathon. We will do a briefing on race day at 9:05 a.m. So here is a quick summary. The race will be split into two age groups. We will have the 5 to 9-year-olds that will do a wade in the water, and the 10 and 11-year-olds will do a swim where they will be out of their depth, swimming around about 100 metres. Children's age is taken from the 31st of December 2018, so their age is whatever they are turning this year. Children will have their shoes lined up on the grass behind the beach, and they'll put their shoes on. From there they will run along the track all the way to the end, turning just before the white gates. They'll come back the same way all the way back to Corsair Bay, and then they will turn right up the concrete path, past the toilets, and when they enter the lower car park they will turn left and then run down the finishing chute. Thanks for listening and all the best for a very good day. The course is truly an iconic course that you'll remember for a very long time. Please remember that this is only a summary of the athlete manual. All the rules are listed in the athlete manual and any other details you might need. So all the best with your day. Have fun.